Like
Hmm.
honestly, the way that the law is written is just, if you take it on face value, one of the best in the country for protecting the child's right to be able to see both parents. But
Absolutely.
again, you have to ask that question. And several of the parents that I've been working with around the state have actually been doing this recently. They've been talking to a couple police departments and sheriff's office, and taking this code section, taking this statute to them, asking, do you guys enforce this? If so, what does it look like, and what's the end result of this? And almost every time they take it in and actually talk to somebody in law enforcement, they're like, oh, no, no, yeah, no, we wouldn't do that unless it was
Go
like
to a judge.
kidnapping or
Yep.
across state lines or whatever. Yeah, that's going to have to go to a judge, and then you're going to have to get a ruling and go from there. It's like, well, what's the point of even having this law if
Yeah,
nobody's
it's
doing
not
anything about
enforced.
it, right? Yeah, yeah,
And then you get in front of a judge, and what's the judge going to do? Slap on the wrist? Hey, don't do that
maybe.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I
You're probably not going to get that. Even like getting the time back, you're probably not going to get that time back. The schedule is probably not going to change going forward. Yeah, your judge is going to
mhm.
say, hey, don't do that anymore. But there's not. I mean, there's not going to be any fine or penalty or anything, right?
Yeah, I had a similar situation in my case back in 2021. I came back overseas. They were keeping the child from me. I hadn't seen her in geez, I don't even know. It had been like a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
they were playing monkey in the middle. They sent my daughter to South Carolina, 2 states away, with the grandparents. So I called, tried to come visit. They refused. I said, all right, that's fine. I'm going to enact my parental rights. I called the police station there. Ended up showing up with a police escort to the house. They tried to run. They took the kid, put her in a car, tried to run, which they were going to run back to Virginia, which is a federal offense. The FBI gets involved,
Yeah.
and
Right.
thankfully the police stopped them, blocked them in, and whatnot. I retrieved my daughter, but the entire court process, right, moving past that, and that's why I talked about Troxel v. Granville, which is a huge case for anybody that needs to know. Um, uh, my entire court process preceding that incident was used against me over and over and over again, which is a violation of Troxel v. Granville. Uh, but I was represented by an attorney at the time. I represent myself now. And you learn so much more about where like your protections are going to come in. As cruddy as it sounds, when you turn around and you start doing the research yourself and looking into things yourself, like your attorney is there, but your attorney has to play the this is my job at the end of the day, so I can only fight so much.
Right.
And
Right.
that's why I'm bringing up this incident. But you know that in itself is custodial interference. And that just shows how these states like to handle it. I was shocked that South Carolina got involved, and they were hesitant to.
So can I ask, was it used against you in the sense of like you were, I don't know, how do you phrase that? You were causing a scene, or you were putting
Yep,
distress in your on your
yep,
child or whatever. Like, yeah.
exactly that.
Well, and what's wild, what's so wild about that? I mean, obviously you know this because it sounds like you've lived it. But I've heard a lot of similar stories from parents where it's like you really have no good option, right? Because
Hmm.
if you don't show up to do something like that for your child, um like it so well, we'll take your scenario first. If you do show up,
Hmm.
then like obviously you're trying to spend time with your child. Like you don't want your child to be taken somewhere away from you, especially when it's your time and whatever. Like I think that's fair. If you show up, then it's held against you of like, oh, he was causing a scene, or he this is distressing for the child or whatever. But then the other side of that is, if you don't show up, then the court is like, well, why didn't you even show up? Like it wasn't,
Exactly.
nobody was withholding you from your child because you didn't even try to show up.